Hi friends, welcome back to Sherry's Simple Living. Today we're going to make a low-carb pizza with a cottage cheese pizza crust. You're going to need a blender or a food processor. And I've also browned up a pound of Italian sausage. So we need about a cup of cottage cheese, and that's what I'm measuring out now. I actually am using a little more than a cup because I just wanted to finish up what was left of this cottage cheese. Okay, we're going to add the cottage cheese to the blender, and then we are going to add 2 eggs to it. Blend on high for about a minute, just until it's all totally blended. Then pour it into a bowl. I just poured it into a 4-cup glass measuring bowl because I want to be able to pour it into the pan. And we are going to add a little bit of seasonings and spices to it. Okay, now we're going to add 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. Next, we're going to add some Italian seasoning, some basil, and some oregano. Even though the Italian seasoning has basil and oregano in it, I just want it to be extra, so it's really good and seasoned. Okay, now just give it all a good stir, and then I'm going to grab the garlic powder and add that to my parchment paper that we're going to pour this on. I'm also going to just spray the parchment paper lightly first, then add the garlic powder, and then we're also going to put a little bit of garlic powder inside this egg and cottage cheese mixture. I also forgot to mention to go ahead and preheat your oven at 375. Now we're going to pour our pizza crust batter onto the parchment paper that we already have ready. I'm using a cast iron skillet to make it more like a pan crust. You can put it on a cookie sheet or even like a rectangular cake pan. Just make sure you line it with the parchment paper so it doesn't stick, and also spray the parchment paper. All right, friends, now let's make some sauce. I've got an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I'm going to add the Italian seasoning, the basil, the oregano, and I'm adding just a dash of granular Splenda. You don't have to add the sweetener if you don't want to. I just find that the tomato sauce is a little acidic, and this does help and cut down the acidity and gives it a tiny sweet taste, but I like it that way. If you have your favorite pizza sauce or a sugar-free one already, then go ahead and use that. I also added a little bit of garlic powder, and then after I mixed it all up and gave it a taste, I added some salt and pepper to it also. Okay, on to the veggies. I've got a bell pepper. Does anybody else have issues getting those stickers off? I swear, I can never get them peeled up. I have to use my knife. Anyways, I'm just cutting it into rounds because I thought that would fit on the pizza best. And of course, I gotta slice up the end pieces for my dogs. Bell peppers are their absolute favorite vegetable. I'm just going to use a half of an onion and just slice it in real thin half rounds basically. You can add whatever veggies you want. Obviously, it's a pizza. I was trying to make it like a supreme. I didn't have any mushrooms, which my husband would have loved. But so I'm just adding bell pepper, onion, the Italian sausage, cheese, and we're also going to slice up some black olives. I also didn't have any pepperoni, so I'm adding salami, which I've never added to a pizza before. And oh man, did it come out so good. It was better than pepperoni. And so I think next time I would do that again because I'm not huge into pepperoni. I forgot to add You want to cook the crust. I did about 15 minutes. It didn't brown on the top, but if you wanted the top more browned, maybe do 20 minutes. Or just keep checking it because different size pans might cook a little differently. But I did 15 minutes. It was done all the way through, but I feel like if I wanted to go a little longer, I could have done 20 minutes. I'm cutting off this parchment paper because it's kind of in the way, so I'm just trying to get the excess out of the way. Okay, friends, raise your oven temperature from 375 up to 400 for baking the rest of the pizza. All right, we're ready to pour on the sauce. And then I had a little bit of leftover sauce, so I just added it to the sausage because I didn't want to make the top of the pizza too saucy. So I just added it to the sausage. All right, now we're ready to add our toppings. So first I put the Italian sausage on, and then we're gonna start piling it all up. After the Italian sausage, I'm doing one layer of cheese first. Then we'll pile on the salami, the bell pepper and onion, and the olives, and then I give it another layer of cheese. You guys don't have to use this much cheese. I just love cheese, and I'm using the Italian blend cheese, so it's got like 6 or 7 different blends of cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like. You can use whatever toppings you like. Obviously, it's a pizza, so you can customize it exactly how you want. Another one of my favorite pizzas that we used to get was chicken bacon barbecue, or barbecue chicken bacon. And it had just barbecue sauce instead of red sauce. And it had chicken, bacon, and then I think like cheddar. And we used to order that pizza, and I loved it. My husband wasn't a huge fan of it, but I thought it was so good. So I might make a keto version of that with some sugar-free barbecue sauce. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. But I think that one would be really good. And another one of my favorites is a Hawaiian. The only thing is the pineapple is a little too many carbs, but it would be nice if we could have that. But maybe if it's just every once in a while. All right, let's get this pizza in the oven. I put it in for 25 minutes. I think I checked at 25 and it maybe went another 5 just to get it a little browned and make sure everything was cooked through. My oven sometimes cooks too hot, so I kept checking it. Anyways, it turned out so good, friends. Friends, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. It means so much to me, and I appreciate you all so much. I have some really exciting new things coming to the channel, so I hope you stay tuned. And if you're new, like and subscribe. Give me a comment down below. Root me on. I'm trying to lose 100 pounds or more this year, and I'm doing pretty good so far. Thank you, friends. See you next time. Bye.